What up, YouTube? We're back here at the Hilltop Homestead, and we've got our Vigo Garden raised beds installed, soil put in and planted, and all the irrigation in. I'm going to show you in this video how to put the irrigation together and some of the things I found out. Okay, this is my supply setup, and I have a spigot coming out the garden area, and basically I just bought a 4-port manifold, and that way I can run my garden hose off of it, and then I've got other ports for washing your hands or whatever. And then I've got my timer right here. This is the Gilmore, and it's got 2 outlets on it, so I can set those differently. And the one is going to go to the garden, and then I'm going to set this other one for the flowers and like the herb garden. So you can set those separately. I got it set up right now. We're going to build this other system here today and show you how that goes. This is the connection for the drip tubing setup. It's a kit, and it's by Rainbird, and that's all. This material is all Rainbird except for this timer, which is Gilmore. This is 1/2-inch tubing, and one of the things I found out with this tubing is you have to have a gradual bend in it. You bend it too tight, it's going to crimp or kink. I looped it so it didn't kink, and then over here had to use some elbows so it could make its way over the top of the bed, and then have our 1/4-inch drip lines. We've got, bubblers here for the tomatoes, and then I've got the 2-gallon-per-hour drips with emitter tubing. The emitter tubing is the brown stuff. It's got holes perforated in it, and pretty much did the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to be building the other side, and then we'll show you how to put it together. One other thing I wanted to let you know about is instead of buying the clamps for the ends of this irrigation tubing, I just use zip ties, and I save you a lot of money just clipping those at the end, and then you're done. Okay, here we go. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to run my 1/2-inch drip tubing along where I want it to go, and basically I'm going to use it to irrigate these 3 wine barrels, that raised bed right there on the end where the cat is, and then it's going to end at that rose bush. And I just left the coil over there in case I have to stretch more line, and I'm going to start right here with this end connection. And I have a drip watering faucet connection system right here it's from Rainbird, and I want to put that on. All right, the faucet connection kit comes in 3 pieces. There's a mesh filter, which is this. Okay, and then there's a backflow preventer, which you see right here. Okay, and then the last piece is the pressure regulator, and that's what's going to fit. The 1/2-inch hose is going to fit on the end of here, and this screws down on top of it. All right, so we'll actually thread this on here. Like so, and then this actually seats down on top of the hose to clamp it on. Alright, so after screwing around with it, I figured out that the best way to put this on here is to start with the mesh adapter onto the spigot, or the outlet, the discharge. Okay, then the backflow preventer. Okay, the arrow shows which way the flow is. All right, and then we put this connector together. Right, this is our 1/2-inch hose, and we're going to make sure that's secure on there. Like so. All right, moving on. Okay, got the connection made, gradual bend in the hose. They're secure here, this 1/2-inch drip line on each of the edges of the wine barrel. Then I've got it secure here in this box, which I'm going to add some soil to. Then I'm going to have it terminate right here at the rose bush, and I'm going to give it a little extra in case there's a problem, but I'm going to cut it right now. To cut this 1/2-inch drip line, I just use, these are basically sheet metal cutters. You just want to make sure you cut it nice and straight. Boom. Okay, so we got our cut right here, and then we're going to basically fold this over and just clamp it with a zip tie, and then we'll put our little drip lines along where we're going to plant. right, so the first part we're going to do is we're going to get a drip line for the rose bush, and this is basically a 1/4 inch drip line, and I'm going to cut this to a certain length. It's going to be like a branch line off the main 1/2 inch drip line. Okay, I got that, and then we're going to put an umbrella bubbler for the rose bush. These are adjustable and I like these. So these come with an actual barb that comes off of here, so that'll actually connect this tubing to the 1/2 inch tubing, and I'll show you how that happens. Okay, now I'm going to pick a spot where this little drip branch line is going to come in. I've got a poker here that I got. I don't know what it's called, but I just put a zip tie on it so I don't lose the damn thing. And then basically I'm going to take this 1/2 inch line very carefully. I'm going to poke it, making a hole. Then I've got our barbed coupling that came with the bubbler. You could also buy these separately, but this is going to actually connect to our 1/4 inch strip line, and then we're going to press it into, do that, and I'm going to press this right into here until it pops in there. Boom. Okay, so that's connected. And then lastly, I've got my bubbler, and we're going to connect that to the 1/4 inch drip line here. What I like about these, like I said, they're adjustable. And then I like to go longer is better, because we can arrange this wherever we want. If the plant's getting too much water, or we plant something separate, we can move it and have room to do so. All right, and there's our bubbler. It's staked right in here. Okay, now I'll show you how to put in the drippers. Same process. I'm going to cut a 1/4 inch strip line. We're going to put 4 of them for each of these pots. So, just make it yay big. Got one of those. All right, so here's a barbed coupling. You could buy these separately, and then I've got my poker. I'm basically going to start on this end. I'm going to put 4 of these in for all 4 pots. So I'll just start with one. Make our hole. Got our tubing. Goes on the end of the coupling barb right there, and then that's going to go right in the hole. There. And then on these, I've got, this is basically a dripper. These are 2 gallon per hour drippers. And I'm just going to put this on the end like so, because these plants need little water. And then basically I'll just arrange these in these different pots. I'll probably stake them down so they're not going all cattywampus. So I'm going to do that 4 times, and 1 in each pot. So hit like and subscribe, and then I'll give you a parts list right after that. First thing you're going to need is the poker for the drip line tubing. Okay, this is 1/2 inch drip line. This is the 1/4 inch drip line that branches off of that. I just have zip ties. That's what I use to clamp the ends of it instead of buying their clamps. This is a barbed coupling. You can buy those in a set. This is the 2 gallon per minute drippers. Okay, those go on the end like I put here on the potted plants. Okay, because they don't need a lot of water. This is an umbrella bubbler, and they come with a barb attached to them, and they're adjustable, and they go all the way up to 35 gallons per hour. You just need some cutters to cut the tubing, make sure it's nice and straight so you can make a connection, and that's it. Thanks a lot. See ya.